out and into the open. Tyler Perry is gay. I know he's gay. He knows he's gay. We all have friends that know he's gay. I've hung around Tyler Perry. I've known Tyler Perry for years.
Once the sexual harassment started, I was like, well, I got to protect me because I'm saying no, and I don't want this person, as powerful as they are, to try to get in the way of my work. So I started recording. So I have them offering me money.
Tyler Perry's comments regarding his sexuality have sparked debate in the entertainment world. The reports that Tyler Perry is gay with T.D. Jakes are not new. They have been going on for years. His most recent comment has further fueled the assumption. So, is Tyler Perry actually gay with T.D. Jakes? He admitted that T.D. Jakes lured him into sex parties. In this video, we'll look into that. So, have a seat as we delve in. Bishop Jakes has had associations with several celebrities, including Tyler Perry and Diddy. Fans have been talking about the Perry event for a while, and it was even more thrilling. Tyler Perry, the king of media, made an unusual move at the Potter House. He was the center of the church, and not just as a member. He stood in front of the assembly and chose to touch Bishop Jakes, the church's leader who is typically a well-known pastor or consecrated priest. Tyler Perry, an actor and filmmaker, ignored this unwritten norm and treated it as a well-known music remix. Furthermore, Perry donated a staggering $1 million soon after meeting T.D. Jakes. While some saw it as a wonderful example of charity and faith, others raised an eyebrow and wondered if the story had any ulterior motives. Jaguar Wright was similarly suspicious of Bishop Jakes' claims that he received the Holy Spirit from Tyler Perry. The suggestion of money aroused some suspicions. Was it just a decent gesture, or was it something more? Some were intrigued, while others were dubious of the blurring of the borders between fame and religion. There was disagreement over whether this was a brave or foolish action. Bishop Jakes, on the other hand, refused to acknowledge the criticism. When the subject of prayer came up, he spoke out to defend Perry's actions, arguing that everyone requires prayer. It makes no difference where it comes from, as long as it is pure. He believes you may have an influence without completing a certain duty. The position of your heart is incredibly essential. The lesson from this storm is that religion is not always simple. There are several points of view, as well as some drama. The debate over this subject has turned into a fever on the internet, with supporters and adversaries exchanging barbs. While some people's comments were obviously cruel, others believe Jakes should be ignored. Others identify parallels between Bishop Eddie Long and Jakes, pointing out that both had enablers and were charged with lesser offenses. On Facebook, some users believe that because T.D. Jakes is God's chosen one, fans should have no say in the matter. Some people believe that if somebody is guilty, God will punish him. However, many people are curious as to whether the assertions are false. Why would a preacher spend time with someone as questionable as Diddy? Tyler Perry has spent years building a massive media empire from the ground up. From developing ideas in his car to having over 20 films under his belt, it's clear that he's worked tremendously hard for his accomplishment. However, with popularity comes scrutiny, and it wasn't long before followers and admirers began to wonder about his sexuality, with many suspecting he's hiding something. The reasons behind this speculation aren't unreasonable. Tyler Perry created Have and Have-Nots, an American soap opera that became a big success. During the casting process, he chose Tyler Lepley, an emerging actor, for a role with whom he appeared to form a deep bond. Lepley and Perry have been spotted together on several occasions, leading fans and journalists to question if the two Tylers are romantically involved. However, in 2020, Lepley appeared on the Angela Lee Lip Service podcast to correct the record. He explains that the rumors originated after he began working for Tyler Perry.
I remember when I first started out, I was seeing it here and there. For whatever reason, people were associating it with like my first show.
Lepley went on to remark, I appeared on a Tyler Perry show, and for some reason, he gets rapped like that. And I know Tyler Perry personally, and he is not gay. I was seen around him, and suddenly he was rubbing off on me.
I came out on a Tyler Perry show, and like for whatever reason, he gets a rap like that. And I know Tyler personally, he's not gay. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I was seeing around him, and all of a sudden he was rubbing off on me, and people thought like I was gay or something like that.
But it's like, being around him, and all of a sudden it was rubbing off on me, and people thought I was gay or something. Ledley then discussed people's impressions of his masculinity.
I'd done something. I was on the set of Pease Alley, and maybe I was with Clifford, or I think I was taking a picture with Alphonse, who plays Lil Murder, and people started off with the gay thing again. And I think if you have a space, like you were saying, Angela, if you have a space that people can't figure out, they may just tag it with whatever they can just create a judgment. You know what I mean?
During the interview, Ledley also mentioned that he is currently in a committed relationship with a woman. However, the star refused to reveal the identity of his mysterious partner. Fans, however, were unimpressed with Ledley's discussion of Perry's sexuality. Speak for yourself. One fan echoed this view in an Instagram message. Another individual commented, "Baby, maybe you shouldn't speak for him because his tea has been out for years." A third advised speaking about one's own sexuality rather than that of others. These fans' remarks reveal that they are confident Tyler Perry is on the DL, and they have grounds to back it up. Perry's performance of the gun-toting character Madea aroused questions about his sexuality, but the film had previously been heavily condemned for being emasculating. Spike Lee is one of the critics. Spike Lee lambasted the Madea flicks as coonery buffoonery in 2009, claiming that they were superior to films like Perry's.
But I still think there a lot of stuff that's on today is coonery buffoonery. And I know it's making a lot of money, breaking records, but we could do better.
Perry later addressed the issue, telling CNN's Chris Wallace that he was not disparaging anyone in his family. Rather, he hopes to do the reverse. Perry stated that it is vital to him to respect those who raised him, taught him, and shaped him into the person he is today.
I've heard it all, yeah.
How do you respond to that?
There's a certain part of our society, especially black people in the culture, that they look down on certain things within the culture. For me, I love the movies that I've done because they are the people that I grew up with, that I represent. So when someone says you're hearkening back to a point of our life that we don't want to talk about, or we don't want the world to see, you're dismissing the stories of millions and millions of black people. And that's why I think it's been so successful, because it resonates with a lot of us who know these women and these experiences and Uncle Joe.
But more importantly, in an essay for the New York Times, he describes how his mother's Friday night card parties in New Orleans served as a tutorial for his work in media films. Aside from being criticized for emasculating men, Harry's portrayal of Madea raised questions about his sexuality. After all, some admirers question how a straight man could give such a convincing and irreverent performance as an older lady. Fans also assumed that his habit of hiring strong men for plays and films was a reflection of his true sexuality. There have also been claims that Tyler Perry is facing complaints from straight males who claim that the producer forced them into playing gay parts in films, making them uncomfortable and exploited. During this time, actor and voice coach Brandon Jay admitted on TikTok that working on a single episode of Perry's Meet the Browns was difficult for him. Jay remarked that a day on Perry's show set is more intense than the typical one-episode filming. He added that episodes are usually filmed over a week, but at Tyler Perry Studios, they are shot in a single day. Along with the short shooting schedule, Jay claimed that Perry routinely made 11th-hour changes to the scripts, leaving the actors racing to recall their lines before each shoot. He described a scenario that happened to him while working with Tyler Perry. Jay auditioned for and played the role of Jeffrey, a stout high school kid who was bullied at school. When they were on set, Jay claimed Tyler Perry was displeased with the initial screenplay, causing mayhem as everyone scrambled to learn new lines on the spot. Perry took it upon himself to rewrite the entire script on the spot. giving the performers their lines directly. Jay recalled Perry saying he would terminate everyone who couldn't keep up. However, the surprises did not stop. While Jay worked on perfecting the new lines, Perry dramatically changed Jay's character, portraying him as gay and romantically attracted to his high school tormentor, which was far from Jay's original audition objective. Jay was taken off guard by Perry's choice to turn his character gay, but he ultimately chose to go along with it since the chance was too wonderful to pass up. Here is a narrative about how filming Meet the Browns was the most stressful and difficult thing I've ever done in my life.
Story time about how filming Meet the Browns was the most stressful and hardest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. I had no idea that Tyler Perry Studios' schedule was so drastic. If you're working on a regular network show, they take a whole week to film an episode. Tyler Perry Studios, they film an episode in one day. The character was Jeffrey, a fat high school teenager who was very intellectual, who was getting bullied at school. I take 2 to 3 days to learn the entire script. On the day of filming, first thing we do is a table read. I know all of my lines. I'm ready to go. So the director, who is Alfonso Ribeiro Carlton in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he starts to block us, telling the actors where to go, where to stand. Mr. Perry comes in, everything changes. So we literally run the entire episode for him, and he hates it. Does that mean I have to learn a whole new script? Yes, that's what it means. Mr. Perry, on the spot, starts rewriting the entire script, and he's feeding me the lines to say, and the director is kind of standing on the side like, you better do it, because if not, they will fire you. Here is where the shoe hit the fan. So in the middle of Mr. Perry changing up the scenes, he says, you know, I want Jeffrey to be gay, and he has a crush on his bully. That's not what I auditioned for. What? Click like for part 2, because this is just the beginning.
But wait, there's more. And it's worse than Jay's. On December 16, 2023, Christian Keys turned to Instagram to share his Hollywood experiences. In the video, he detailed how a powerful man made many inappropriate advances on him. The stranger allegedly attempted to jump into bed with him and offered him $100,000 to strip. In the video, Keys explained that after refusing alleged solicitations to engage in exploitative behaviors, he chose a more picturesque path in his career. He also revealed that he had recordings of the misbehavior dating back over 2 decades, and he is confident that people would accept his narrative when he holds the important guy accountable because he has evidence.
I've kept one of these on me since '05. Whether it's a keychain recorder or a pen.
In the video, Keys claimed that the accused harasser felt free to act improperly since he employed a group of young black men. The harasser allegedly assumed that these men would comply with his wishes and show up when he wanted them to, regardless of the circumstances.
He was claiming, that he had multiple young black men on the payroll and they just had to show up when he was.
While Keys did not mention anyone in his video, some social media users suspected that he was talking to Tyler Perry. There is more. Walter Lee Hampton, a YouTube celebrity, released a video about Tyler Perry's sexuality in 2014, about the same time the Haves and Have-Nots premiered. Hampton said in the video that he and Perry were friends who had discussed their sexuality openly. Hampton also said that Perry's first supporters were other black gay males from their same neighborhood. But what connected these 2 supposed ex-friends? Hampton stated Perry begged his pals to keep his gay orientation a secret so that he could continue to receive support from the local church. According to Hampton, Perry was afraid that if he was honest about his sexuality, he would lose the support of his religious followers. Hampton accused Perry of abandoning the black gay community, which had previously supported him, Eric, and several other sissies.